Hey, hi, hello. Happy Sunday, one and all. Jarius, Natsu, Snan, and everyone else who is viewing so far. I see Ski, I see Hex. A lot of the usual faces around here. What's going on? Hope everyone is doing well. So, I'm going to start with a little bit of laddering with Snake Eye. And after maybe like an hour and a half or so of that, we're going to do our Master Duel Mates tier list, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I did make a couple of very minor updates to the list. Just one change each to the main and extra deck. I cut one effect failure to play a Kurikara Divine Carnate. I was just talking yesterday about how good I think board breakers are in this meta, and it's like, if we have a searchable one, I might as well try it out, right? But better put the bicycle in S tier. What's up, Princess? Akari, Cheer. And then an extra deck change. I cut Celine and crafted a Zealantis. I've been wanting to try this for a little bit, and Celine just doesn't ever end up coming up, really. And it's like, rather than having a very, like, optional, doesn't come up often way to go into access code, let's just put in another, like, OTK line, right? That just makes sense to me, so. We'll be trying Zealantis, and again, I'll be trying the Kurikara as well. But those are the only changes I've made so far. So let's hop into ladder. And just make sure this is the right... Yeah, okay. We're good. Alright, let's do this. Sprite Mate S tier. I agree. You all know me. Sprite Blue is definitely going to end up in S tier. Alright, losing the coin flip. Not that big of a deal, though. Not with this deck. Especially now that we're playing the Kurikara. Hey, speaking of the devil. Wow, this hand just needs a Snake Eye Ash and we're good to go. Speak of the devil. I am still going to use Joel here. Even though Snake Eye can play through Joel. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, there we go. Right, it's after the Poplar procs. Even though Snake Eye can play through Joel, it's like, if nothing else, Joel is like a situational Ash Blossom here, right? So, Red the Weeb, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well. Excuse me. Yes, we have two board breaker cards in our hand, which going second again is pretty good. I guess I'm just really hoping for that, Well, see, the thing is, the Kurikara, it's like... That's really only going to be a board breaker. I mean, they probably will start activating their effects, right? They'll Flamberge. We really do need to draw some kind of gas here, though. Pizza goes even crazier in Master Duel because of Ash Blossom. Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's, pretty good. But it's funny, like even then, Celine just never really end up coming up that often. Oh, I see a sub. Is that from, what's this say, Tommy Ruffles? It showed up in the banner, but it hasn't shown up on my, anywhere else yet. Subs are so weird sometimes, like, with that. Sometimes they'll show up in the goal and banner, but not in, like, the alerts. Or the activity feed. But I saw that come through. Thank you very much for that sub. I super appreciate that. That's weird. Why is that not coming through the activity feed? I don't have any, like, filtered things, but anyway. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Tommy Ruffles, not Tommy. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I thought it said Tommy. Thank you, Tommy Ruffles, for that sub. Super appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well today. Oh, they have the Diabell Star as well. Okay. So this will be like a full combo from the opponent here, I think. Ooh, that Sylvara is not super great for me. You know, it is what it is. Wait, I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't the original Sin. They must already have it in hand. Because otherwise you don't get access to Formula Synchron. I guess maybe they're just not doing that, but... They could not be on Formula Synchron. That is always something that's, you know, some people don't play it. One of the cool things about Snake Eye is that there's really not any, like, one optimal build. Like, I've seen people ask, like, are synchros good or bad? Is the Xyz package good or bad? Is Snake Eye Chase and Silvara good or bad? And it's like, I don't think any of it is necessarily optimal or non-optimal. That is to say, I don't think there's any one combination of cards, or any one build for this deck that I think is the best above any others. Okay, Flamberge placing the IP, sending a card passing back over to me. We really need an Ash here. Snake Eye Ash would be the best top deck in the world. That is far from Ash. Ugh. Yeah, that's brutal. I can't really do anything. At all. Not even a little bit. Like, I don't even want to set either of these, honestly, because if I do, they're just going to start, like, activating... Okay, if they activate Flamberge Dragon, am I actually going to cross that out? What if I do this? Okay, they didn't do anything when I moved to battle phase. Ugh. Yeah, alright, I'm just gonna surrender. That was a very weird hand. That was a very weird first hand. Got lucky and pulled a Royal Diabellstar? Oh, hell yeah. That's insane. I really wanted a Royal Diabellstar, but I will definitely... I will settle for my Royal Flamberge Dragon. No, the Royal Flamberge Dragon looks amazing. Alright, we'll definitely go first here. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the stats on 1-for-1. I mean, I imagine pretty much everybody's on it, but maybe not. Okay, here's... So this hand's pretty good. Like, we have Jet Synchron plus Original Sin to go into our combo line here. So we'll just do it that way. Alright. Okay, there's the C. I'm going to cross that out. I'm actually pretty glad it wasn't Ash Blossom, because if it was Ash Blossom then followed by Maxi, that would have been super annoying. I'm really also glad we have cross out here too with the C in hand. If this was called by... Well, to be fair, I could have just discarded Maxi in that case for Jet Synchron or something, but... Gimme, gimme, gimme. Snake Eye Ash, please. So if they don't have an Ash Blossom or Veiler or an Imperm here. Okay, I don't think they do. And Poplar F. Cool, doesn't seem like they have anything else. Gonna get the field spell here because we already used Original Sin. I might end up pitching either C or Imperm for Formula Synchron. I mean, that probably is just right, isn't it? We'll get there when we get there. Let's focus on the main line for the time being. Link off the Poplar for the Karibo, and that'll proc the Poplar F. Yep. This card is so cool. It's really fucking good. I bet you need me to tell you that, but... Okay, now Ash... Send the... It's the Link Karibo here, right? Yeah. Yeah, for the Oak, and then Oak will bring back Ash. And I think this is the decision point where we decide if we want to try to Jet Synchron or not. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay, bring back the... Because I could actually bring back the Jet Synchron here. But no. I definitely still need to bring back Snake Eye Ash, even if I am going to do the Jet Synchron line, because I need another body to sync with. Okay, so if I discarded, like, Imperm here, for example, for Jet Synchron... But that doesn't actually do it because... Well, okay, so I would give up Oak plus Poplar for Flamberge Dragon. No, I don't like doing that. I would just rather keep these. Plus, I don't even know if that works out or not. Nah, I'm just going to keep doing it the regular way. I work all the time and content helps make the day a lot easier learning and watching you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my god, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I super appreciate that. I'm glad that I'm glad that my content helps. That is, I love when people come in and leave super kind comments like that. It really does make my day. It's very nice. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. All right, let's make the IP, and then that'll activate the Flamber Jeff. I'll just get Ash and Oak here. Again, could think about getting Jet Synchron, but I'm not really gonna synchro or anything, so. Yeah, Flamberge is a pretty ridiculous card, as it turns out. Being able to summon multiple bodies, no matter how you're sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, it's a pretty good effect. Alright, let's see. There's the Princess. It's one of the cards that used to be banned. It'll be interesting to see how they end up hitting this deck. Honestly, the Snake Eye Ash being an SR and Master Duel kind of leads me to believe they'll hit that. Which also, like, Master Duel / OCG side would be very in line with them hitting, like, the consistency of a deck, right? As opposed to the power part of it. So hitting the Snake Eye Ash makes sense in regards, you know, in regards to them tending to hit cards that way. I'll just make the Whale here. Ooh, that is a resub as well from Honest Abe for 4 months. Thank you very much, Abe. I super appreciate that. This is just, yeah, it's just Jet Synchron, so we're good. Thank you for the resub. Again, very much appreciated. Hope you are doing well. I'm just gonna fire this off now. Maxi. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's almost always right to Flamberge Dragon during the draw phase. Because, like, the only thing that you play around... I don't know the only thing, but, like... You play around Triple Tactics talent is the main thing, which I think is good. The main reason to wait would be to let them put a card on the field. Ooh. I might actually be fine with that. I think I am fine with that. Because if they summon a monster, I can just use IP to pull this out of my spell trap zone again. This is fine. You play into Thrust. I mean, we're always going to use monster effects during their turn at some point. So, like, it's pretty inevitable. And also, like, I don't know. I guess Thrust is pretty common and branded. Ooh, it's Infernoid. What does this do again? Send one Infernoid monster from your deck to the graveyard. Increase the level of this card by the level of the sent monster. Okay. I could also imperm that. I think I definitely am, actually, if they use their normal summon on it. Which they did, right? Yeah. Infernoid is one of those decks, and I felt this way when I played in the TCG as well, where I'm like, I don't know what this deck does, but it's fucking scary. This is a scary-ass deck. What's up, Depression? Original Sin. Let's definitely chain Maxi to that. Crossout, eh? Yeah, that's fine. I might just chain Appaloosa here. Is this once per turn? It sure isn't. We're gonna chain IP. Beep. Ooh, but I have to give up the Whale to do that? That's fine. I think I'm fine with that. Actually, no, I'm fine with that. Oh, I love that art. It's so pretty. Ooh, we got a replay redeem from Never in My Life. We'll check that out here in a moment. I think I'm actually not going to activate this. Because not only would doing so give them a draw, it also means I can't negate this. It's a little risky. Let me read Promethean Princess real quick. I do have to target a fire monster I control, so it would also mean no princess. Do I want to hedge on that? I think I do. Nope, I didn't. I glossed over this. I did not. Not even a soft once per turn. There's just no once per turn on this card at all. Sure, yeah. I only get that too. Right, we do have Original Sin in the yard. The course in attacking, banish a monster from your opponent's extra deck. Their choice. I guess they didn't activate that effect? Okay. Target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. Oh, they didn't banish the Original Sin? That was a misplay. This is what's going to let me combo again next turn. Beep. Is this a quick effect? No, okay. What are we putting back here? We're gonna put back the Flamberge Dragon. Is it? Oh, it is during either player's turn. Okay, I was looking for the words quick effect. Gotcha. Well, they didn't use it, so that's good. And this is a Jet Synchron, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was actually a really good example of me just like glossing over text and just looking for the words. Looking for the words that I want to see and nothing else. Rare situation where Anima would be good. I thought about putting Relinquished Anima in the extra deck. Honestly, not even just for situations like this, but just having another Link one sometimes is, like, definitely not bad. They thinking about if they want to banish something? Or are they thinking about how they should have banished something earlier? Yeah, never punished for real, though. Maybe they were like, I'll just wait for Oak. And they were just kind of, like, on autopilot in that regard. That feels like a mistake I would make, honestly. I could just Ash send Flamberge Dragon. This doesn't target when it summons, right? It sure doesn't. Wow, that's OP. And I have a ton of level 1s in my yard. That sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I'll just do that. What's up, Elementian? You got it, dude. That's not gonna negate the effect. What's up, Toad? I will summon this from my deck. Oh, that does, actually. Oh, it won't get its trigger window. Oh, because it was in the middle of the chain link. I see, and it didn't go to the graveyard. That makes sense. Okay, but that also means that, yeah, it didn't activate the effect at all. So I could still link... They have a fire... Yeah, these are all fire monsters. Am I saying they have a fire monster in their yard? Can this be... Must be special summoned from the graveyard. Okay, so I can't special that. Okay, so we can still do this, though. Well, we could do... Let's do Sunlight Wolf in this case, then. Yeah, I had the second one anyway. We can even chain block the Flamberge F. It doesn't super matter. I'll just put one of the Poplars in the spell trap zone. I can even, I think this works. I can even do like this. Let's target this. And then activate. Okay, if I add Poplar, do I get to special this? I think I do, because it just says if this card is added to your hand. I don't. Okay, it does have to be from the deck. I have 7,600 damage right now. Alright, let's just summon Jet Synchron and end this. Okay, cool. So it does have to be added from the deck to the hand. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon this card. Oh, Wolf prevents you from summoning what you add. Oh. So if I add Poplar with a different graveyard retrieval effect, that will allow me to summon it. I think. If I'm understanding that correctly. Because I think like, because I know Wadapon has the same effect, but I think it says if this card is added from your deck to your hand. Or there are other monsters with that effect, but they specify from deck to hand. Your replay, I'm sorry. I was so good about this yesterday, but we've fallen right back into it. We will watch your replay never in my life, I'm sorry. It's just, you all know me by this point. I've just got that trigger finger. I've got the monkey brain. I want to duel. The button says duel. I push the button that say duel. But, nah, we'll watch your game after this. Set 1, end phase. End phase. End phase. End phase, there we go, good. That's a really good top deck. Always itching for that next game. Yee. Yeah, I'll do that even like off stream when I need to change like a song or a video, right? If I'm like listening to or watching something as I'm playing, I'll just click duel and I'm like, I was supposed to. So then like I'll just be sitting in silence for the next like duel or two when I should be like, you know, when I was meant to change the video. You know how it is. Hello, Placebo. Is making Hollands Day sauce. Ooh, that's good. The first time I missed the notification. Didn't go great, but it wasn't bad. Well, I'm glad your sauce was... Sounds like it was good. If it wasn't great but bad, then it sounds like it was still good. I fucking love me some Hollands Day sauce. God, it's been forever since I've had, like, just a nice egg. Some, like, eggs with Hollands Day sauce over them. Mmm. Ah, that makes you wish I would have, like, made breakfast this morning. Sometimes on the weekends I'll, like, make a nice big breakfast, but this wasn't one of those mornings. I just had some cereal. Am I getting Original Sin? What's actually better here? I'd probably just get Original Sin. I kind of want to peek at their hand now. Typhon Watcher, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to figure out if I want to save the talent or to draw later or look at their hand now. I want to look at their hand now. Because I feel like if they didn't have plays, there's a good shot they have hand traps. I just want to see what's going on. If I didn't have the... Oh, it's stun. Okay. Got it. You banish one extra deck monster from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can activate this effect. Send to... Okay. So, there's a good chance one of these is punishment, then. I'm gonna send the Maximus. Or put back the Maximus. I would have considered drawing 2 a lot more if I didn't have this Original Sin for follow-up plays. Okay, so now we know it's stun. The Moon Mirror Shield is what gave that away. I guess, like, for the time being, I'm gonna kind of keep going, like, as normal. Gotta find new tech cards. I mean, we just actually talked about how there's like a lot of tech cards you can play for this deck. Especially in the extra deck. Like, I see builds with really high win rates that sometimes they're using Zealantis, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're playing Synchros, sometimes they're playing all Links, sometimes they're playing the Lyrilisc package. Sometimes they're playing Rarfthal, sometimes they're playing Small World, sometimes they're playing Magician Soul, sometimes they're playing Kurikar Divine Carnage, sometimes they're not. There's a ton of different ways you can build this deck, and like, none of them are optimal. It's one of the reasons why this deck is really, really interesting, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going here. Face down's probably a punishment. Yeah, I'm like pretty convinced it is as well. And that's not even mentioning alternate variants. Like, you can play TGs, you can play Rescue Ace, you can play like a lot of different stuff with the Snake Eyes. Tier limits, like, it's a very interesting archetype. They don't have a fire monster in the yard, do they? I hate knowing that it's stunned. That triple attack, it helped, but it also did a decent bit of psychological damage, I won't lie. Oops. There it is. There it is. Finally, I've been waiting for this card to get activated. Wondering about Kashtira Snake Eye. Unicorn D-Bell start being 7s for Rise Heart Inclusion, who instantly wins the mirror. That seems pretty good. I've seen some Snake Eyes with Kashtira engine. I don't know if I've seen Kashtira, you know what I mean? Like, it was more of a Snake Eye deck than a Kashtira deck. I don't think they were playing a Rise Heart and stuff, but I've seen like kind of similar things to what you're describing. Okay, let me think about this for a second. So I could Original Sin, get rid of one of these, summon out Jet Synchron. I'm gonna do that, I think. This will enable me to go Sunlight Wolf. I'm thinking like Sunlight Wolf, bring back Jet Synchron, put it in, add a monster back, and then go Princess, bring back Flamberge. Seems like the line from here to me. Can get rid of one of these Poplars because we have 2 of them. It's like, don't need both necessarily. Oh no, duh, I was supposed to put it in the Sunlight Wolf zone. That was dumb of me. Okay. You know what? We can pivot here. We can actually still do this. What misplay? I don't know what you're talking about. What's up, Alnick? Whew! That was not a concede-worthy moment from the opponent, but I'm really glad they conceded there. I didn't want to think anymore. Does Elf seem necessary in this deck? I uncrafted a while back, but I'm debating crafting it again because it fits good into Super Heavy Samurai also. Elf is not necessary. I like it quite a bit. And I actually don't think Elf is a risky craft at all, because I actually think it's going to get banned soon. Like, I've said in the past that I don't think Elf is too generically good. I think Elf is approaching too generically good. But more than that, what kind of makes me say that is, let me actually go into the shop here. And yeah, no, we'll definitely check out your replay here. Yeah, if you look at the sprite pack and you look at the featured URs, like, Elf is pretty noticeably not here. It's like Sprint instead. So, I kind of think Elf's going to get the axe soon. It might even be deserved. It might even be deserved. I don't know if I think it is yet or not. I'm trying to remove my own sprite bias. Excuse me. Okay. There was never in my life, duh. Who I thought I had added at some point. Unless your name is... I'll just type in your thing. Also, thank you, Macadamian Nuts, for the follow. That's a fun name. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was looking for the name Never in my life. Let's see. Top replay. Alright, got one from about a week ago here. Ooh, we're on Sprite. Is this like a... This looks like almost all one-ofs Sprite. That's funny. Oh, I see. It's like Prank Kids, and we're doing like everything. It's Adventures and Nimbles and Prank Kids. It's like everything. Hell yeah. I'm all about this. I'm immediately all about this. This is the cool thing about Sprite, is that there's like so many different ways to go about it. Limit 1 event. Oh my god, this kind of Sprite deck would actually be super good at the... Man, I want another Limit 1 event. Ah. Highlander Sprite. Hey, Hexlex. Alright, hey, Hexlex, jeez. Hey, Maurice, who says, how are you doing, Hexlex? Yeah, I did sleep well. Hope you are doing well, too. Looks like they have a Gamma here. Do you think Runic Fountain will get banned? I really hope not. I don't think so. No, it's not a ban-worthy card. I don't think it's a limit-worthy card, but that's a conversation I've had plenty of times already, so... Oh my god, we have the setup. I see it. Don't think I don't see you over here. This... Oh, this is gonna be gross. This is gonna be disgusting. Okay, so they're gonna motorbike, add the Wakao. As if Droll wasn't already good enough against Super Heavy Samurai. We're now gonna rob them of literally their entire hand. Because Droll prevents them from adding cards, and Trickstar Reincarnation, yep, banishes the opponent's hand and then lets them draw the same number of cards. But if you're under Droll, you can't draw those cards back. So that reads, Trickstar Reincarnation then reads, your opponent has to banish their entire hand. Which, again, it's like, they were already playing Super Heavy Samurai. That Droll was already probably enough. It's just so funny. It's like, you would never think this about Super Heavy Samurai in any other context, but I'm thinking of that scene from The Simpsons, where the kid's like, stop, stop, he's already dead. It's good. It's good. It was against Super Heavy Samurai, it's fine. Oh, that's good. And yeah, Snon, I see that you have submitted a replay as well. We'll definitely go ahead and peek at that here. That was good. Yeah, I think if that was like any other deck other than Super Heavy Samurai, chat would be like up in arms of how much of a war crime that was. But nah, it's Super Heavy Samurai, so it's fine, right? Alright, looks like Snon has a game with Branded. So we're probably going to see that Royal Mirror Jade here. I was doing this at the start of MD, teaching new players a lesson. It's good. So chaining Maxi to the Branded Regained is a bit of a head scratcher. This is like... This is a terrible Maxi. I talk about this a lot. It's so easy to think that Maxi is like the easiest card in the world to use and there's no amount of skill involved in even activating it. That actually is not true at all. Like, if you're gonna Maxi during the main phase, you should be doing it to guaranteed get draws. Because, like, it would have been so easy for us to have a Triple Tactics talent and, like, super punish this opponent, like, really, really hard here, but... Okay, and then also, we're Ash Blossoming the Aliber. Yeah, okay. This is like, whenever I think about, like, how to use hand traps, I feel like this is a good example of how not to do it. I think it's easier to demonstrate how not to use hand traps than how to use them a lot of the time. Alright, we got the Sea Moon. Looks like the opponent is on Blackwing. So yeah, Maurice, if you have the channel points to redeem for replay, you can absolutely submit one. I think it's 5k. I don't think I actually ended up adjusting that. I think I kept it at 5k. Oh my god, so many Black Whirlwinds here. This card is not once per turn, by the way. Like, at all. Although, to be fair, our opponent was super never punished there, because if they had actually waited to Ash the Brain Diffusion, we would have had the fusion duplication. So our opponent was like super duper never punished. Good old 2008 card design. Well, it's like, you know, not only was that like, what, over 15 years ago by this point, but you know, back then especially, I don't think they really imagined that Black Whirlwind would be like a super searchable card. It's funny because later they got really restrictive with the restrictions on Blackwing cards. Like after Blackwing became a tier 1 deck when it was released. Like, look at cards for Black Feathers. I remember that card getting used in the anime, and in the anime it just straight up said discard a Blackwing monster, draw 2. And I was like, I remember thinking like, oh my god, they're going to come out with this card, it's gonna be broken. But they changed it. They not only made it a banish instead of a discard, but cards for Black Feathers says you cannot special summon monsters, like, period, for the whole rest of the turn. Also, we're milling with grass. Let's see what all we hit off that. We have the Saronir, the Albion. Yep, I was gonna say, as long as we hit both of those, we've got Brain Diffusion access. But, like, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. They were like, the restrictions on cards back then were either, like, not there at all, or, like, you can't do anything. It's kind of funny how hard once per turn was just not even really a concept back then. Just because, like, soft once per turns were enough. Like, if you needed a card effect to be once per turn. Because it wasn't reasonable to assume you're going to cycle through multiple copies. Now you have to count for that. Because, Yu-Gi-Oh! Done got crazy. I don't know, it's like, it's funny because I see all these conversations about, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, like, so difficult to get into and the power level is so high, like, how could the game possibly even continue? And it's like, I don't know, I remember thinking that a decade ago during Dragon Ruler. Like, literally, we were having the exact same conversations about how the game is far too complicated, the power level is too high, there's no future for Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, that was literally over a decade ago. So it's like, nowadays, I'm just kind of like, this game's just gonna keep going forever at this rate, like hell. Instant fusion at a hard once per turn. That was one of the rare examples, yeah. Ooh, so we have the... Oh, but this is like completely unaffected. So yeah, even the Aliber negate won't end up doing anything here. We're just gonna have to try to battle over this full Armor Master. I mean, that's the thing about this card, right? Is like, just unaffected by other cards' effects, period, is a really scary sentence, but 3k attack and defense is like, that's not the worst to battle over in the world, but can understand that seeing tier, like, how are we gonna top that? I mean, again, Dragon Rulers, we thought literally the exact same thing. Literally, that's like tier 0 format was so interesting because the conversations were literally the exact same as Dragon Ruler format. The Dragon Rulers are so OP, cards can't get more powerful. Like, how could they possibly? And now we're, again, here we are over a decade later, and the Dragon Rulers are, like, completely fine to be at 3. Just not very impactful in the overall meta. Definitely not tier 0. Just wild to think about. So, like, yeah, right now, it's hard to imagine something being more powerful than tier 0, but, you know, 2, 5, 10 years from now, I think very easily can see it. It's actually also kind of funny that they got to use the Sprint effect to bump it over to a new column. Or a new zone, rather. Well, new column, too. You know what I mean. Okay, yeah, I still think that battling over the full Armor Master is going to be how we have to do this. Okay, so we're fusing for the Granganol here. Granganol F sending the Rindbrum. There we go, we're colliding, yeah, with the Mirror Jade. Alright, we finally dealt with that full Armor Master, which is really all our opponent's board had going for it as far as, like, stopping us from getting the game state to a point where we can win. I was going to say advancing the game state, but we've been doing that the entire time. It's just, like, again, trying to get over that Armor Master. Alright, gonna casually enter our main phase 3 here. And draw 3 cards. Because Branded Despia is a ridiculous deck, but you know how it is. Nah. I think Branded Despia is actually fine. Like, people were talking about hitting it, but it's like, nah, I think it's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna Ash this Small World, not even deal with it. It's like so hard for one monster. I was gonna say, yeah, we know the last card is a monster, and it's so hard for one monster to be enough for them to come back here. So that was good. That was very, very good. Thank you for the submission, Stan. Very, very good game. All right, let's play a bit more on ladder, and then we'll start doing our tier list. Ishir will destroy Snake Eye if they're at full power. Can't imagine how they make a better deck. I guess, I don't know. I don't know how many other times I can say it. Like, we've said the same thing over a decade ago about Dragon Ruler. It can and will happen at some point. Like, just because they're better than the current top meta deck doesn't mean there's not going to be another one, you know, later down the line that's better. We have Diabellus. Wow, this hand is actually great. Yeah, this is definitely plays here. Spin the Jet Synchron. And activate. For the original Sin. If they have interaction, they're probably just saving it for the Snake Eye Ash, which I think typically is what you should be doing. Like, if you've got Valor or Ash or Imperm, I don't like using it on the Wanted or the Diabell. Or sometimes even the original Sin. Like, if you're confident Snake Eye, then yeah, you should just wait for the Snake Eye Ash. Like, there's a lot of people who would have Impermed the Diabell Star, and to be fair, in this hand, that would have, you know, stopped our combo line. But, oh wow, we can't even use the other effect. That's really annoying. Let me think for a second here. Two fire effect monsters. So if I... nah, that doesn't... okay, so here's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, alright, what if I, like, normal summoned Ash Blossom? No, not normal summon Ash Blossom. What if I, like... I could actually normal summon Ash Blossom. Well, I'm thinking about, like, what if I, like, normal summon a monster, bring back Jet Synchron, make Sunlight Wolf, go into Linkuriboh... Wait a second. Hang on. I think I might be onto something. Normal summon Ash Blossom, link into Sunlight Wolf, pitch Valor, bring back Jet Synchron in Sunlight Wolf zone, wheel the Ash back to hand. Then I could summon a... Yeah. Let's just do this. I'm cooking here. I'm gonna try something. Get rid of this Valor. And wheel the Ash back to my hand. I actually could get the Ash Blossom back too, but I think I'd rather have the starter here. Now I can make a Linkuriboh. And a Promethean Princess. And then an Ambler Whale. Much better than just passing, I think. I maybe should have wheeled the Ash Blossom back to my hand instead. I guess it depends if you value the disrupt or the follow-up play more. I guess here I just valued the follow-up play. Because I already have Maxi. Okay, that's much better than just passing. Yeah. Thanks to having Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron made that possible. This play made possible today by Jet Synchron. Alright, let's see what they've got. I really like having the Princess and the follow-up set up with that. Tenyi Spirit, Ashuna, a Maxi. Please don't have a counter to this. They do. Okay, that's fine. They don't. Okay, that's even better. They had some kind of quick effect. They opted not to use. There's no need to do this right now. We can wait. I almost wonder if we do it on the monk. But they haven't normal summoned yet. Yeah, I'll just wait. This is fine. I don't need a princess yet. Does this target? It does target. Okay. I guess I should have done it on the original monk, huh? Is it worth doing now to get this into the graveyard? If a Link 3 or lower monster is destroyed... Oh shit, I can actually bring back the Sunlight Wolf. This card is destroyed. Yeah, so we'll do it. Yeah, that's worth it then. I'll do the one in the... It doesn't really matter. I'll just do the one in the EMZ, I guess. That's actually fine. Yeah, I don't care. I'll put this over here, actually. Need a video from me on Sword Soul with Ringo. I've considered it. I just gotta do more research. Well, there's like so many decks on my list right now. Like, I still want to make it an Ignister video, honestly. Ignister, TG, are like the two big ones at the forefront of my mind. Blackwing is a consideration because I have the level 6 Synchro that's a UR. I would just need to buy the structure decks. TG is the big one. TG is like the big one I want to do research on and play next. Because I've still got those Rocket Salamanders and Glade Blaster. I never got rid of those. And I would only need to craft Hyper Librarian and then Cosmic Blazar and or Hot Dragon King Calamity. Some combination of those. Okay, they haven't used the Vishuda yet. That's the thing, I had to use the Promethean Princess there because if I waited, they would just Vishuda bounce the Ambler Whale and then I can't Promethean Princess at all. That's exactly what I wanted to see and the literal perfect moment to get it. Holy shit. Oh, is that not 5 summons? Oh, I have the Princess. I can't summon it because it's not fire. Ooh, I didn't think about that. I guess I just thought they would bounce the... I assumed they would have bounced the Princess. Okay, this might be fine, though. Because as soon as they get rid of the Princess, then I can Nibiru them. Thank you for that posture check. That's funny, I actually... I was doing a lot of editing this weekend, so... I was in goblin mode a lot, unintentionally. My lower back got a little sore. I actually have a pillow on my chair right now, like an old person. Because I done goofed. I just need a new chair in general. Like, this chair's just not comfy. It's not even that it's not comfy, it just doesn't, it has no support. I have a work from home hammock. Dang. Oh, please call fire. Oh, well, yeah, obviously. I say please call fire so I can nib now, but obviously for the follow-up turn, that wouldn't be good for me. But it might be enough. I might actually be able to link climb without using fire if they call it here. Oh, well, that was a mistake. I get to do that before they even call anything with... No! 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 Ah, they had the cross out! Okay. That's gonna have to be fine. Sure. They also summon this in defense mode? That's a little weird. God, I don't have Valor or Drolls left in my deck. This one for one's gonna be useless. Oh wait, yeah, they didn't use it on, or did they just draw it off of Moye? They haven't used Moye, have they? No, they haven't used Moye. They didn't use it on Max C? I guess they decided they were just gonna save it for the Nibiru. That's kind of valid, honestly. That's really gutsy is what it is, but... The Protoss in defense mode is also interesting. Oh, they did draw off Max C, you're right. They did activate a Max C earlier, didn't they? Yep. They must have been what they top decked. Okay, what did they just... Yeah, they just returned the Longyan. Do we know the other card in their hand? I don't think we do. Wait, did they not activate this at all? They didn't call fire with this? Oh my god. Oh, we're just... Okay. They did? Oh, okay, they did. Oh, it's not... Okay, the check mark isn't on here because it's my turn. That makes sense. Got it. Got it. I understand. I was looking for the check mark. Oh, I can 1-for-1 and summon from hand, that's right. Yeah, I don't get the Protoss in defense, but we'll definitely take it. Alright, let's get a couple of... Let's get a search and a draw here, right? I can't summon fire, so like none of these... I'm actually... Wow, look how much engine we still have in our deck after all those draws. That was actually really good. And then... Harder to battle over, maybe? But but they would have won! That's okay, so I can still normal summon a fire monster, I just can't special one. So we should definitely use our normal summon for a fire monster for sure. Alright, I'm gonna special the Diabell Star. I'm gonna get rid of... I guess just the extra Diabell Star, yeah. Secret battle trap? I guess so. Flowcharted too hard? I mean, I've definitely done that before, so I can definitely see that being the case. What am I... Okay, how am I going to answer this? I can battle over this if I can go into an access code. Which I should... Actually, what do they have in their graveyard? Ooh, This might be a little more difficult than anticipated. Normal summon... Snake Eye... God, it's too bad I don't have Jet Synchron in hand. Being able to Synchro here would be really, really nice. Or another... Actually, I'm really missing that second effect Veiler right now. Normal Ash, Baron de Fleur. That is pretty good, but we still need to get over the Shengying. We actually can't pop the Protoss either. I think I have to try to... I think I do have to end up trying to make access code here, but I don't know if I can. If I normal summon Snake Eye Ash, I could just add like another copy of Ash. I could 1-for-1 one of the Drolls out of my hand. But that's still only 3 bodies. Okay, well, time's ticking. I think we always do this. This won't get summoned. I guess I'm just going to add it anyway. The one time we needed Selene? I know, right? We can dark, but they don't have a dark monster to bring back is the problem. But I still think that's better than... Here. Shinging proc when you banish with access code. Well, I wouldn't be able to destroy it by card effect anyway. I would just battle over it. I'm gonna send... I'm just gonna send the Poplar, and I'll summon one of the Drolls. The Lyrilusk engine would be really, really good here, too. Even having, like, the field spell would be really good here. Like, I'm kind of thinking about just going into, like, Nightmare Unicorn. And using that to get rid of Sheng Ying and then just battling over this. I think that's what I have to do here, honestly. I guess the Wanted is the worst card here. Okay. Now, there's no fire monster on the field for Protoss to hit, which is good for me. If they ripped an Emergence, I have an Ash Blossom. If they do something really, really scary, I have Nibiru still. We're not just dead here. It's not the best spot to be in, but we're not just dead. We could even cross out a call by if they have one. Okay, they don't. It's a nice Royal Emergence, by the way. Oh, there definitely was throwing happening here. If they had just summoned this in attack mode. Okay, yeah, we lose. Yeah, if they just summoned that in attack mode, they would have won last turn. But I can't fault them too much, because that's definitely a misplay I've made quite a bit before as well. But I'll make them play it out. If they threw before, they could throw again. Like, if they're too eager to call fire and they activate Protoss right now. Could be something that happens. Nah. They didn't think about it for a second, though. They did think for a moment there. Sure, why not? I don't know. So you can't respond to Access Code Talker's effect, that is true. But Sheng Ying isn't an effect that happens in response. It happens on a separate chain link after the card has already been banished. So, I guess I never did answer that question. I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. If I banish a card for access code, then they can use Sheng Ying's effect, because the Sheng Ying effect doesn't go on the same chain link. It goes on a new chain link after the effect that banished already resolved. But in that situation, I wouldn't use access code first, or the effect first. I would battle over Sheng Ying first, and then I would start popping cards. But Sheng Ying timing is kind of weird. Yeah, it just needs to, it activates on the next chain link, because the condition has to be fulfilled before the effect can activate. And, we can't interrupt chain links. If this were Magic the Gathering, then Sheng Ying would go on the same stack, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! Chain links can't be interrupted. You playing those Discord watch-alongs? It's like still in the back of my head. I mean, I have ideas of what to watch. I think the real thing, as always as ever, with me is finding the time to do it, right? Like, okay, so this is one of those hands where, like, you have a safe line and a risky line, basically when it comes to what you send off the Diabell Star. Like, it looks really simple, like, oh, you just send Poplar, and then Poplar can get placed in the Spell Trap Zone. But if our Diabell Star gets interrupted at any point, then we would want to be able to normal summon Poplar and continue our combo anyway. So, like, as weird as it sounds, I'm kind of thinking of sending Imperm instead. That would be the safe play that gives up the Imperm. The risky play would be to keep the Imperm and send the Poplar. Oh my god, this is actually kind of difficult. I think because I have Call By, I'm actually going to do the kind of risky line. And I will send a Poplar. Most people will probably wait until the Snake Eye Ash anyway. So, I guess we'll see. Okay, doesn't seem like they have anything, so we might just be in never punished mode here. I mean, it's not even really so much never punished, because if they had, like, Valor, or if they have Ash Blossom against the original Sin, we still have the Called By here. I'm sending the Diabell Star here, right? Yeah, I'm just going to send the Diabell Star here. Because we're not going to use her. We're not going to summon Jet Synchron anyway, so we don't need her to Synchro. High roller Gamba addicts. Well, it was a calculated risk for sure because we had Called By. If I did not have Called By, I probably would have sent the Imperm. It's why whenever I go to Vegas, I play blackjack, you know? Gambling is fun, but we should take calculated risks that are in our favor, or at least as much as they can be. Like, you're never going to win against the house. The house is always going to have the best odds. But if you want the best odds while still having non-optimal odds, then you should play blackjack. Plus, blackjack is like a casino game that actually has skill expression, which is really fun. Nib? I don't think it's enough summons for Nib yet. Diabell Star was 1, Ash is 2, Poplar is 3. Yeah, we're not on 5 summons yet. It could be furniture. It could be like... Well, because they didn't start getting past priority until I had monsters on the field. It almost makes you wonder if it's like a Bestial. I think it's a Bestial. There's 60 cards, so it's probably branded. If it was Valor or Imperm, they would have used it by now. They only started getting past priority when I put monsters on the field, and I have a Dark Monster in the yard. So I'm like 90% sure that's a Bestial. Now that I think about it. I only high roll because I don't gamble for money. Very, very fair. I don't go to Vegas or casinos often at all, by the way. I did not mean to imply that I do. I am not a high roller, like in any... Well, you can tell by the way I said it. It was like the nerdiest pronunciation ever. I am not one of those high rollers. No, not even a little. I actually don't really like gambling. Whenever I have gone to Vegas, which I've only done twice, and that's actually the only time I really gamble is if I'm in Vegas. I have like funds that I set aside specifically for gambling, and I consider that spent money before I even start gambling. I'm planning on losing all of this, if that makes any sense. Like, now granted, the second time I went to Vegas, I did actually net profit. Like I had, I think I brought like $600 to gamble with, and then I walked away with some amount higher than that after playing blackjack. But the thing is too, it's like, if you're taking that kind of a vacation, it's like not even a vacation at that point. You're like basically kind of working because you're just sitting there at the blackjack tables. I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong, but like, it's not something I would regularly do. put on the Ben Shapiro. Let's not. Let's not do that, actually. I would very much not like to do that, please. Yeah, that's so... and you know what? They're gonna save it. They're gonna save it for my IP. Oh, your Hyrule dork voice. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I maybe should have taken a different line. I just thought about this. They're gonna banish my IP. How much do I care about that? Well, okay, let me actually think about this for a moment. I wonder... No, because I need to bring back Flamberge. Although, I could pull the Flamberge out of my spell trap. Like, what if I didn't summon Promethean Princess here? What if I just, like, set these two cards and then pass? Because if I put the IP in the yard, they're going to banish it for the Saronir. However, if I wait, then I'll get to summon the Flamberge, link for a 4-material Appaloosa, and then still be able to bring back 2 level 1s. Yeah, if I think that's a Bystial, which I'm like very, very confident it is, I think I actually set 2 and pass here. This is Link Creebar, right? Yeah. Yeah, end phase. What do you think about that, opponent? I know what you have. I know what you have. I know your game. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Okay, it is Despia. I mean, 60 cards. We kind of figured it probably was. Am I going to imperm this? I think I will, actually. But I'm definitely going to use this. Yeah, I'm going to imperm this because I'm going to have access to Appaloosa for the rest of the turn, so... That's funny. It's funny because when I was doing that nerd voice, I was kind of channeling Temple Fugit from DCAU, the Clock King. Yes, time is wasting. Reveal 1, blah 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 blah. I don't care. That's fine. Dogmatica Maximus. Professor Fink from The Simpsons. Glavin. Oh my god. When was the last time I watched... I was going to say an episode with that character, but when was the last time I watched The Simpsons in general? I usually... Nowadays, I just get, like, my Simpsons... what's the word I'm looking for? Doses out of, like, random YouTube clips. Or, like, on the like, every Simpsons moment ever, like, Twitter page. Or something like that. I'm an IP now. For you, with you, and you, and you, and... Oh, just the 3. Oh, because I clicked use it as 2 materials. Ooh, that was a misplay on my part. Okay, hopefully that won't matter. We'll see. Special summon 1. Okay, yeah, let's activate this. And this. I should have used Called By in that last chain. And this because they're summoning. Okay. We get to add follow-up here. That's good. Well, I did just add Original Sin, didn't I? Yeah, I'll just add a Snake Eye Ash. I'm not going to overthink it. I was thinking about adding Craig Card, Divine Incarnate. This Maxi is unfair. I don't know if a Maxi has ever been activated and I had the thought, like, that was a fair interaction. Summoning the Coritis. Yeah, we have to negate that. That's threatening to take all our Appaloosa negations. Okay, so to be fair, even if I had made a 4-material Apollousa, Quiritus could still battle over it anyway. Oh no, we have Linkuriboh, so we'll actually be fine in that regard. This is not during the main phase, right? Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so I was gonna say, so it wasn't a misplay, or so the misplay didn't matter, rather, but it does matter. Okay, wait, no, they're still going here. They summoned a Klesia. There's the Saronir. I knew they had a Bestial. What's up, Examine? What are they targeting? IP Masquerena? I'm just gonna negate this. Yeah, I think this is like one of the best uses of Call By I'm gonna get, so let's do this now. Read them like a book. I mean, you know, when it's really important to notice, to pay attention to when your opponent is getting past priority. And I mean, it's why it pays to not only look at that, but also like how many cards are they playing in their deck. You know, like these kinds of factors like can super duper matter. Huh, they played it in the Imperm column. Oh no, a poor opponent. I'm actually gonna put this on auto. No, I'll keep it on. And I might hold it on off here for a moment. Just 'cause I don't want to run out. Well, but I see, I want to negate whatever they summon too, so I'll just leave it as it is. We have 17 seconds. We should hopefully probably be fine. Hopefully, probably. They got a B. You said they got a BF, and I was like, I legit thought boyfriend at first. I was like, what does that have to do with? Oh, Brand Diffusion, right? That's good. Wait, they made Lubellion? They're gonna discard their last card to have. Oh, for Saronir's effect. That makes sense. Yeah, no. Tragedy is fine. Chain block, yep. Definitely makes sense. Yeah, and then they said the tragedy in order to chain block. Makes a lot of sense. Have I? Yeah, I used that earlier. Mirror Jade? Oh, Albion Sanctifier, okay. Saronir F. That's fine. Oh, shit. I was supposed to do it before the attack was declared. I'm a dummy. Because of how it works, yeah. Oh, I also should have put one of my Flamberges in the Spell Trap Zone, but we are running low on time. Oh, no, this does actually work. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Declares an attack, you contribute this card. Okay. Well, we lived. Alright. Okay. What's up, King Silverwing? Okay, I'm gonna have to play this relatively quickly. We'll start with this. Alright, yeah, give me the Poplar. And, nope, activate this one. Okay, I don't have a Flamberge Dragon left in my deck, so there's no real point to using the Ash right now. Do they have a Fire Monster in here by chance? They don't. Okay. Okay. Let me do this. Alright, what monster are you targeting? Only Kribo, 2 of mine. Oh, you know what? That works out. Ah, that was a misplay on my opponent's part, because I can just do this. And that'll stop the Albion Sanctifier. Okay, this is... Alright. Leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. Let's get rid of this one. I can't be targeted, so we're going to get rid of this one. I'm not gonna have enough time to do this. Yep. Alright, well, we didn't lose to timer, but we didn't actually get to make any plays, which kind of sucks. I'm just gonna do this now, so I don't have to think about it later. Okay, fine, whatever. I didn't even set up the Promethean Princess. Should have done that. That was a misplay on my part. Yeah, I was still thinking about going for lethal with access code. That's why I summoned Nightmare Unicorn. It's like I should have summoned Promethean Princess. I don't know why I didn't do that. Because of the timer, that's why. Please let this be enough somehow, even though it won't. Yeah, we lose. Even if this gets negated, it's like, yeah. Well, hang on. We might not be, like, just dead here. No, wait, we're not actually, because this gets to activate. Yeah. Oh my god, why are we still alive? Get rid of this. Just fucking get this. No! What am I doing? That summons Albaz! I'm such a dummy! Ah! God damn it. Yeah, alright. Now we lose. Don't worry, opponent. I'll find lethal for you. It's okay. There you go, buddy. Oh, that's good. Well, because I was like, oh, destroy Coritus now while I don't have a monster for Albaz to fuse with. And then literally right after I clicked the button, my brain went, what does that mean? Albaz will just attack us? And then I was like, fuck! You're right! Oh, that was good. That was good. Good stuff, good stuff. I probably should have just gone for a Zealantis line. I forgot that was in my... I forgot I put that in my extra deck. Oh, that's good. Okay. I think I'm going to stop there, but we're not done with the stream yet, not by any means, because... Wait, have I only done one daily mission? What daily missions do I have right now? Okay, not that many. Because we still have something else that we need to do. We are going to do a bit of a YouTube video. Y'all are going to get to say hi to YouTube here in a little bit, because I talked about this idea in a recent YouTube video, and people seemed excited about it. I want to rank mates, but I also want to move some of this stream stuff over a little bit first before I start recording this video. I'll put chat over here, and I will put the event list over here. Okay. There we go. Alright, I'm pretty sure I remembered them all. I almost forgot a couple of the solo mode mates. I didn't realize I hadn't unlocked the Geargia mate yet. I somehow have still not done that after all this time. I thought I had it, but I didn't. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point. I guess we can do that after this tier list, maybe even. Because I still need the Kurikara mate, too. So maybe we could try unlocking those after this, or at least one of them. I want to get the Geargia mate. I can't believe I didn't have it, but... Alright, I want to take a sip of water here, and then... we shall start recording. Alright, the recording is started. Everyone get ready to say hello to YouTube here in just a moment. Alright. Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you. I'm actually hanging out on stream right now, and we are about to do a tier list. I've been wanting to do a tier list on stream for quite some time now, and don't listen to Toadette. Don't listen to Toadette. And you know, I have been kind of thinking about doing like one of our meta ones, like, you know, when the end of the season rolls around. But I wanted to start with a more fun one. It's been a minute since we've looked at the mate tier list. I did one, like, God, I don't even remember how long ago. About a year ago, I think. And I think even in that one, I forgot one or two of the mates. So I'm pretty sure I got them all here. I think I have all of them. By the way, did you know there are fucking 60 of these things in the game right now? I didn't know there were that many mates, but you know what? That is all good, because we're going to rate them all on a tier list. And part of the reason I want to do this one with chat is because I thought this would be kind of fun. Maybe chat gets to weigh in a little bit instead of this just being solely my takes on the mates. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started right here from the top. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring mate. So this is the one that I think I first used when I started playing Master Duel. It's okay. I mean, I guess that you could go with a matching set with like the Ash Blossom sleeves or whatever. I don't know. Nowadays, I'm kind of like, on her. I'm going to put her in C. I never see anyone using her anymore. I think I'm going to partially rate this not only on how much I like the mate, but also how much I see other people actually using the mate. So it's going to be this kind of weird conglomeration of like my takes and what I think the general consensus on the mate is. So Ash Blossom and C, I think that's a pretty good spot for it. Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed, Pot of Greed, Pot of Greed. I still see people on the Pot of Greed mate occasionally. I don't know. It's like, it's one of those mates. Now, here's a bias I'm going to try not to let affect too many of my decisions, is I really don't like mates that only have one animation. I think they're kind of boring. But if it's a good animation, then it's like, you know... And if I remember right, the Pot of Greed one is the Pot of Greed itself, like, kind of about to tip over, like it's like rolling in a circle. I'm going to put this in B, I think because the animation is, like, kind of good, and also because it's just so iconic, right? Magic the Gathering Arena has 89 pets. Wow. And that's been out for quite a few years longer, so, yeah, Master Duel mates are definitely catching up pretty quickly here. I'm going to put Pot of Greed in B. I think that's a good spot for it. If I end up changing my mind, I can always move stuff around too. Rescue Rabbit. This is like the classic one. Isn't this like the default mate that everyone starts with? That's probably the reason why you see it so often. But to be fair, for a default mate, it's a pretty good one, honestly. It's cute. It's got good animations. I think this is A tier worthy. It might be high B tier instead of A. It's like low A, high B for me for Rescue Rabbit. I think this is like such a staple of like the Master Duel mate scene that I'll leave it up in A here. Ritual Raven I think is a really, really fun one. And I think it goes really well with the Ritual board too. I'm going to put Ritual Raven in A as well. I like this one. I think I like it more than the Rescue Rabbit actually, so I'll do it like that. Okay, Sangan Sangan is a classic. What's up, Oni? Yep, we're doing our mate tier list here. You actually just got started, so you are right on time. Okay, Sangan. Sangan, I particularly like... One thing I like about Sangan, I guess I will say, is that when you start a duel, Sangan just kind of like floats into space. It's like that one meme of like Winnie the Pooh floating out of his body from like... It's like that scene from Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Sangan just kind of like flies into the void. Is the bicycle not on here? Oh, did I miss the bicycle? I think I might have. Oh, because I don't have that reward yet. We'll include the bicycle at the very end. Just remind me, and we'll get there for sure. What's up, Ashy? Okay, so Sangan. I also really like that Sangan has like that fun little dance. I'll put Sangan in A tier. Do I like Sangan more than the Ritual Raven? I think I do. I think Sangan is A tier above the Raven for me. Alright, so this is one that a lot of people really, really like, the Guard Dragon. Or I remember when Master Duel first came out, this was like one of the mates that almost everybody had. And it does have some really, really cute animations. I really like that the Guard Dragon plays with the little, like, sphere thing. Spherical. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Just like a little ball, I guess. But this is a very dog-like mate. Now, to be fair, I will say, I'm not much of a dog person. So... if I was a dog person, I think the Guard Dragon would be an easy S. The crying is annoying every time you take damage. Oh, that's a good point. See, I don't think that's going to change it for me. I was going to put it in B. I think I'll leave it in B anyway. I think for me, it might even rank a little bit lower than the Pot of Greed. Like, I guess one way that I'm thinking about these mates, especially when comparing two of them, is like, which one am I more likely to use? And I think I would be more likely to use a Pot of Greed mate than the Guard Dragon mate. I think dog people would have this in S. I wouldn't fault you for that, but I'm going to leave it in B. It's a peak mate if it didn't have the crying sound. Yeah, it's funny. So when I'm not on stream or recording a video, I usually don't have the sound on for Master Duel. So there's a lot of the mates, like noises they make that I'm not like super familiar with off the top of my head. So that'll definitely be a factor to keep in mind as well. Moki Moki. Moki Moki's a fun mate. I really like that the animation is like it, getting mad and turning red and having like the exclamation point above its head instead of the question mark. I think that's really, really fun. But I don't know if it's better than any of these in A. I'll put it in B above Pot of Greed. I think that's a good spot for it. Book of Moon. We were talking about this yesterday on stream, actually, funnily enough, when we were kicking around the idea of doing the mate tier list, right? Where does Book of Moon lie? I think that Book of Moon it's either an S or an F. Like, it's one of those, like, very decisive ones. I'm in the camp that thinks Book of Moon is an F tier mate. I don't know. Is it an F tier, though? It's like... Here's the thing. Book of Moon kind of falls into this, like, a lot of these object mates are going to be for me. Which is that they're either F or S. Like, the object is either fun enough or high concept enough to be really high on the tier list, or it's just an object that just kind of sits there. And I feel like Book of Moon falls into that for me. Like, if Book of Moon had an animation where when it flips open, there's like a full moon that appears above it, that would have been really cool. But they kind of didn't really do anything with that, so... Carnot being card-cardy is the biggest letdown. I 100% agree with that, actually. I would say the good object mates are B at best. I could see that, too. I'm going to keep Book of Moon in F for now. That's how I feel. Okay, so Danger Jackalope. I think this one... I think this is an underrated mate. Even when Danger Jackalope first came out as a mate, I never saw anybody on it. And I think this is a very, very fun mate. I love the animation. I love that it, like, disappears and then reappears. And I love the little leaves that appear around it. I think it's got a, like, cute sound that it makes. I never really use this one anymore. If I still had this in my regular rotation, I'd probably put it in S tier. But I'll put it in A tier. I think I like it better than... I like it better than Ritual Raven. Do I like it better than Sangan? That's actually a good question. I think I like this one very slightly more. But Sangan is so funny. See, this one is cute and this one is funny. These two are very, very close. Like, I think these weigh about equally for me, and this one is more cute and yeah, this one is more funny. Reasons I don't use Jackalope. Mates are not by deck choice. True. You know what? I hadn't considered that before. But if you could assign individual mates to decks, I think that would definitely raise the value of every mate individually, right? It's what I'm talking like this, like when it's an actual tier list, or like it's an actual like meta. But you know what? It is. I think I respect the mate meta enough to treat it as an actual meta. And yeah, I think if every deck had its own mate, that would hugely raise the value of each individual mate. The fact that you're only locked into one across all the decks is it's not the best, is it? Okay, Instant Fusion, this one's an easy F for me. Like, the reason this one is an easy F for me is, like, it's an object mate for one, but it would have been so easy to give this a fun animation. So when you click on the Instant Fusion mate, the lid just, like waves in the wind a little bit. It doesn't even come all the way off. When they first spoiled this as part of the event, whatever event it was a reward for, I thought what they were going to do, I thought the animation was going to be the cup falling over and like noodles and soup spilling out. How fun would that have been? I think if that would have been the case, this would have been a B or even an A for me, but this was such a letdown. It's an easy F. It would give away your deck a lot more. Only if they knew what all of your mates were relative to your decks. I mean, I guess only as much as like deck boxes do, right? Or like fields. Like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think it would be fun more than anything else. Like, I use generic ones because if I go use, like, Blue Eyes and play Marincess, it's like, yeah, right? Yeah, totally. I agree. No, definitely, for sure. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I either find myself using, like, the latest mate or just, like, a generic mate, right? Is for that exact reason. Because, like, yeah, you don't want ones that are off-theme. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. Imagine if the Fusionists pop out. That would be fun. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with the Instant Fusion mate that they just didn't. They chose, like, literally the most boring animation possible. Another reason I really am against, or another reason I really don't like mates that only have one animation is that I think it's by far the weirdest thing for Konami to be stingy about. But if you notice, all of the mates that only have one animation are the ones you get for free. They're the ones from solo mode, or from a dual pass, or from an event. Now, there are some exceptions, and I think they have actually gone back and given mates new animations, but if you look at every single mate you pay gems for, they always have a bunch of really robust animations. So I always think that's the weirdest thing to be stingy about, and yet Konami is. Okay, Scapegoat mate. This one's kind of fun. It does like a flip. It doesn't even make a ba sound though, so it's like, I don't think it does, right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. This one is another one that has like some amount of potential, but just kind of fails on that. I'll put it in C. I think it's better than Ash Blossom, but Flippy Flippy Girl, my beloved. The flip is nice. If she made like a sheep sound, it'd be a little bit higher for me, but I'm gonna leave her in C. Shard of Greed is another pretty easy F for me. What does this one do when you click it? It like glows. Ooh. So it's like whatever. And it's like, it's just strictly inferior to the Pot of Greed mate, especially after getting this as an event reward. And then I think it was just like a couple events later we got the Shard of Greed reward. It's just like, it just felt like a downgrade. I don't know. Okay, Laundry Dragon Maid. So this is the first of the deluxe mates we're going to put on the tier list here. How do I feel about Laundry Dragon Maid? I don't have her as part of my regular rotation, but because see, I was thinking like, okay, S tier is probably going to be mates that I find myself regularly using. I think Scapegoat is in the group of excusable because it was part of the first mates. That's fair. Maybe they'll give Scapegoat more animations, because I think it was, what, Karibo? And I'm pretty sure Quillbolt Hedgehog got more animations with a relatively recent update. I would like to see Scapegoat get another one, too. Changing mid-duel is pretty nice. That is cool. The Laundry, I believe, procs during the battle phase, which is also very on theme. I'll put Laundry in S tier, even though I don't find myself regularly using Laundry. I think Laundry is a good example of what like a deluxe mate should be, right? It's got a bunch of good animations for both forms. The one thing I will rate deluxe mates on, I mean, granted, there's only 3 of them, but one thing I'm going to be a little bit harsh on Shuragon is the condition to transform. I like that Laundries is just enter the battle phase, right? It's nice and simple. You get to see it a lot. Whereas something like Shurag, it only transforms when your life points hit 2,000 or less. So it's like, it feels bad to have a mate who you only see transform like when you're losing. And I think that definitely knocks points against like Shurag later. But for Laundry now, I think S is a good spot. Even though I don't personally use her a lot, I think she's a good mate. I think actually Stratos is another example of, I don't know, you know, I'll put Stratos in high A tier. I think I'll put it down here though. Stratos is close. Like I think this is another really good mate. And this is a good mate for one that you get from a solo mode reward as well. Yeah, I'll leave Stratos in high A tier. I think that's a good spot for him. Me playing Runic. Me playing Runic. Oh, Runic never gets to see the Laundry transform. That's good. Beatron. Okay, so I actually think pretty much the same thing of Beatron as I do of Scapegoat. Like, they're both really, really cute, and I would definitely use them more regularly if they had more animations. I was gonna put Beatron in B because I like Beatron just a little bit more than Scapegoat, but I'll be fair and I'll keep them both together and see if I feel the same way about them. I will say if these both got another animation, I would be more likely to use Beatron than Scapegoat. They're both cute, but I like little Cyber friend. Very nice, very cute. Quibbled Hedgehog. So I think this did actually, like I said, get another animation recently. I think this is a good, cute Synchro monster, or rather, a cute monster to represent Synchro era. Quibbled is one of those mates that's like very middle of the road for me, so I think low B is a good spot for it. It's a mate I don't really have any strong feelings about, right? It's like, it's fine, you know? It's good, it's cute, it does things, I don't know. Alright, Vendread Slayer. How do I feel about Vendread Slayer? I think this is actually another kind of middle of the road mate for me. But I'll put it higher than the Guard Dragon, I think. Because I'd be more likely to use this one. I don't know. I will say I do also personally have a bias towards cute mates. As opposed to, like... We'll see this more when we go down here. The reason all these mates are lumped together at the bottom is because these were actually all in the shop. These are mates that I've never bought. And at this point in the game, probably won't end up buying. So I kind of have a bias against the mates that are, like, big, badass monsters. I prefer the ones that are cute a little bit more. But I will say that of the kind of, like, quote-unquote badass monsters side of the mates, I think Vendread is one of the better ones. So yeah, I'll keep Vendread in, like, mid to high B tier. Vendread Slayer, it's cool, but also kind of weird. That's kind of how I feel about it, too, honestly. I think even more so than Quibble, honestly, Salamangreat Gazelle for me is an example of a completely middle-of-the-road mate. Like, I don't have any strong feelings about this mate at all. It's got fine animations. It looks fine, you know? I'm sure Salamangreat players, you know, thoroughly enjoy this mate. For me, it's like, you know? It's like, it's fine. Okay, Ghost Trick. This is going to be an easy S tier mate for me. I don't use this one super duper often, but I just love, I think he's cute. I think he's got really fun noises. I also personally use the Ghost Trick Mansion board a lot, and I usually pick my mate to go with my board sometimes, so the Ghost Trick always fits in. This one's a very, 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 very clear bias for me. Like, you know, I think if I wasn't so biased towards, like, the whole, like, Halloween motif, I'd probably put the Ghost Trick in, like, low A or high B, but Ghost Trick for me is a pretty easy S tier. Pretty easy S. Marshmelon. I think I'll put this one kind of alongside the Guard Dragon and the Vendread. I mean, obviously this one's more cute than, like, scary, but I like the animation, how you get to see its, like, sharp tooth mouth. I've always thought that was really fun. Design aspect of Marshmelon, how it's got, like, the upside down mouth that's got really sharp teeth in it. And I like that it makes, like, a nom sound when you click on it. I think it's fun. So I'll put it in B tier. Vendreads are cool, I just wish they had a better archetype. True, honestly, Vendreads are, like, it's one of those decks that it feels like it's really close to being really good, but it's not even that it's missing one thing in particular, it's just that everything it does is just a little bit underwhelming, right? Like, it just doesn't quite do enough as a whole. White Baking. White Baking is going to be another pretty easy S tier for me. I think this is great. I think my favorite part about the white baking mate is that if you click it when you're on like your player profile, then the white baking will like point to a bucket and then point to a pile of leaves. And I never understood for the longest time what it was. And then it dawned on me one day. I'm like, that's fire safety. White baking is teaching us fire safety. Oh my god. So, like, I already loved the mate before then, but that solidified this is one of the best mates, you know? If we're going off of, like, exactly, such a good guy, and if it's like, if we're talking about, like, real world value, then this is easily the best mate, because, like, what better real world applicable information could you get from a mate than fire safety, right? So, the only reason Ghost Trick beats it out for me right now is just because, again, I'm a sucker for, although to be fair, being a skeleton, this also does have Halloween theming. Huh, did I just convince myself that this is, like, the best tier, or the highest tier to mate for me so far? I think it is. I think white baking is probably, yeah, just gonna be my highest rated mate so far. Ooh, but you know what? This is actually another pretty good contender. Totally awesome. I'm just thinking about particularly how, like, well Totally Awesome goes with the Madolche board. When Sprite first came out especially, I was all over that combination, Madolche board plus Totally. Ooh. See, this is, like Ashley was saying earlier, this is a great example, and so is the Ghost Trick, by the way, as well, of how mates would have so much more value if you could assign them to a specific deck. Because, like, I'm not even necessarily thinking about using the Ghost Trick with a Ghost Trick deck, right? Or like a zombie deck or something, but just like, just being able to pair the mate with the board that it goes best with is just like, As for the Totally, I'm going to put it in S. I mean, I think I like it better than the Laundry Mate, honestly, personally. He's just totally awesome. Goat in C is criminal. The first like controversial take here. Listen, I said it before, I'll say it again. If it made a cute sheep noise, like if it bad, like if it went like bah when you clicked on it, as well as doing a flip, I think it'd be a pretty easy A tier. But it's just like such an easy and missed opportunity that it's like gonna end up in S. But again, if Goat is always gonna be controversial, true. If they make an update for Scapegoat and they give it a cute sound, then I will gladly bump it up to A tier. Karibo. Isn't Karibo exactly the same as Scapegoat? Don't they both just kind of like do a flip and nothing else? I think for that reason I'm going to put Karibo in C as well. Yeah, it's always been the cute mascot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I mean, I guess Karibo does have that going for it. But like at the same time, it's like, Curry, no! That's good. I mean, yeah, if they both just do a flip and kind of do nothing else, then it comes down to whichever one I think is cuter. And I definitely think the Scapegoat Goat is cuter than Karibo. No shade thrown at Karibo, by the way. And I have Beatron higher because I think Beatron is cuter than both of them. Again, I'm a sucker for robots. I just think robots are cute. Like, well, I think I like cute robots, I guess, more than I like cute animals, for whatever that's worth. Okay, so we have our next deluxe mate here, Gaia the Dragon Champion. So this one transforms, if I recall correctly, when you summon an extra deck monster. It goes from Gaia on the horse to Gaia on the dragon. I don't know, I think this is going to be a C tier for me, honestly. I was going to put it in low B. But the more I think about it, it's like, even though this is a deluxe mate, and it is dynamic in that it changes in that regard, it's like, it's still not really that exciting. But I think the thing for me about the Gaia mate, and this is the first time I think this has come up for me on the tier list, but it'll come up for some mates later, like particularly down here. But I don't think it looks very good. Yeah, exactly. It kind of looks bad. Particularly the Curse of Dragon, the head is too rigid. Like, I'm remembering the animation when it shakes its head, it's too rigid. It's very, like, green. It's like this weird green-yellow, like, color that's just not very good looking, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just like, you know, it could have been a cooler mate if it just looked better. If it looked better, I'd be more inclined to put it in B. Problem with the really big mates is that instead of being huge and cool, they look like cheap toys. I mean, You know what? As long as you're saying that, I'm going to skip down here for a second. I'm going to go to Borreload Mini. Borreload Mini is like, honestly, I want to put it in low C or high F. I want to put it in low C because I don't think it's quite as bad as like Object Mates, but I don't like the design of the mini Borreload Dragon. The head, it just looks so awkward. Like, I think the chibi design works for quite a few monsters, and it might even work for Borreload in particular if it just didn't, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I just don't think it looks good. I just don't want to, I don't know, I've never even, like, again, a lot of these mates towards the bottom, I've just never even bought. If we're talking about mates that don't look good, let's talk about the Trishula mate as well. Like, I might even put that below the Borreload one. Because, like, this one isn't even, like, a quote-unquote mini. Because if you look at the Borreload, and I think also Cyber Dragon Infinity says this in the shop, it'll have, in parentheses, mini next to it, right? It's supposed to be, like, a chibified version of the monster. And I think that's why the head on the Borreload ended up coming out looking weird. But the Trishula mate isn't like that, and the heads just don't look good. Like, this Trishula doesn't look threatening. It just looks kind of goofy. And that really, I don't know, that really takes a lot from it for me, in my opinion. Gaia Mate made me think they could sell this without FOMO marketing. Yeah, exactly, honestly. Oh, was it one of the FOMO mates? Was it one of the ones that was only in the shop for a little while? Because I won't lie, I'm a pretty big sucker for the FOMO stuff in the shop. The cosmetics, I buy them pretty much every single time. So, yeah, it's just, a lot of these, like, again, I think Oni really hit the nail on the head for me. That the problem with these big mates is that instead of being huge and cool, they look like cheap toys. I completely 100% agree. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me go back down here to the Moai Interceptor Cannon. It's funny, for a mate that we were all really looking forward to, I never see anybody using it. But it's got a fun animation, right? What is its mouth open and it shows the cannon? It's like it's an alright animation. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of strong feelings about this one, honestly. I think for the slight meme value, I'll put it like a little bit higher in B than I would normally otherwise, but yeah, I think that's a fine spot for it. Again, this was one that everyone was looking forward to, and I never see anybody using, honestly, anymore. Galatea, this is another one that I think is really, really divisive. Or, I don't know, I've seen a few people say, not just today, but also yesterday when we were talking about this too, like, Galatea S tier, Galatea S tier. I'm not gonna lie to you all, I kind of think Galatea is down here. This is another one where I just, and maybe this is more of a me thing than this is the general consensus, I don't think the character model looks good. Not only do I not think the character model doesn't look that, or not only do I think that the character model doesn't look that good, the animation that I think, again, it only has one of is really boring. Isn't it just like, it kind of like lights up a little bit? It's still just an object mate and it lost a lot of value because it's so static. Oh, for like, are we talking about the Moai cannon? The Moai cannon I could definitely see that for. I guess I put that higher because it has meme value. Some of the mate choices always confuse me, like the Moki. Spirit Blue makes sense because they're a popular archetype. The Moki is definitely like a meme one, right? Like, especially for older players, Moki has a lot of like meme value. But the Gaia mate was kind of confusing in that regard too. I guess they did just have the Gaia structure deck that came out. That's why they made a Gaia mate. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe putting Galatea in C is a bit of a hot take, but yeah, it's got one animation syndrome, and I just don't think the model itself looks that good. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, Sue Ship. This is gonna be another F tier for me. I'll put it at the top of F tier because of the object mates. This is like the most fun object, but at the end of the day, it is just an object mate. I would say Galatea has a niche in being the shiniest mate. That's true, it is very shiny. That's part of why I kind of think it doesn't look that good. It's not even necessarily the model itself, it's more of the color scheme. It's a lot lighter than I would think, looking at the card art. But maybe that's not an inherently terrible thing, but But yeah, so the Sue ship, I think, does earn at least the top of F tier, but again, Object Mate, I'm just going to put it in F tier. Sprite Blue, is this any surprise for me? Of course, for me, Sprite Blue is just going to go straight to the top. If I'm not using the latest mate that's out, which I usually am, then I'm probably just deferring back to Sprite Blue. Not only do I love sprites, it's just my favorite archetype, but Sprite Blue has the best animations of like any mate ever. Sprite Blue does the handstand. Sprite Blue does the splits. Sprite Blue gives you a thumbs up. Even if you lose a duel, Sprite Blue's animation of like stomping his foot is really cute. And to me, it often softens the blow of like a tough loss. And also, we can't forget that when you start a game and Sprite Blue, like, disappears, it makes the exact same sound as when Mario disappears in Mario 64. And I've always loved that. It just makes me smile. I don't know why. I think even sprite bias aside, Sprite Blue is an easy S tier mate, an easy contender for the best mate. And it's probably going to just end up being the best mate for me personally. We also cannot forget, as Ski points out, that Sprite Blue easily is the most dripped out of any of the mates. Like, God, just look at him. Like, that jacket, so fresh, and those shoes, oh, so clean. Yeah, was there ever any doubt that Sprite Blue was going to be at the top? But again, I think biases aside, it earns that spot as well. What's up, Hyper Whale? All right, next up we have Gamma. Gamma, this is another one of those mates that's much like Salamangreat Gazelle and Quillbolt. I just don't really have any strong feelings about. I think I might even actually put it down in C, honestly. I think it's probably right here for me. What does Gamma do when you click on it? It just kind of like shakes a little bit, right? Doesn't really do, like, if it had, because Gamma has like this fun, like, almost Joker face looking mask on it. If it made a little like laugh sound, there are so many mates that would be improved with not even just a new animation, but just adding irrelevant sound effects to their animation. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that the Gamma is going to end up being a C tier for me, mostly due to one animation syndrome. DD Ghost Mate, God, this like might as well just be an object mate. What does this do when you click on it? It like rotates a little bit. Ooh, no fun like meow sound. No fun like kind of crystallizing effects when you click on it. So many things, especially for this one. Like so many ways they could have gone with it. So many directions. I can't stop seeing Gamma as a lewd object. I mean. Do I even want to ask what object? I kind of just see it as like a VR headset, which I guess, to be fair, could be considered a lewd object, but... but anyway. Yeah, DD Ghost, I think for me, is just going to end up being another object mate, and I think it is a little bit less fun than the Sushi. Because the Sushi, when you click on it, it's got this like fun, nice little wobble animation, but the Ghost just doesn't do anything. It like rotates. Okay, Cross Sheep. I'm gonna put it up here kind of with the Moai Cannon and Marshmelon, where like, yeah, this is a one animation mate, but at the same time, it's a really fun mate to have in general, right? It's part of a meta-relevant deck, which is cool. It's cute. It's got references to other monsters in its art. And I think, if I recall correctly, this one does actually make a cute sound when you click it, so... Cross Sheep is comfy. I like it. I like it better than the Scapegoat. I think between the two sheep mates, this one is definitely the one I prefer a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'll put it up here. Ooh, the Kage to Kage. This is another really interesting one. So this is another one that only has like one animation, but it makes a really cute sound. And Kage to Kage is just a really cool design. Where am I going to put this one? I think for me, this is going to be another high B. Yeah, this feels like a good spot. You know, I think I'd even be a little more likely to use Kage to Kage than the Potigrade, so I'll put it here. I think that's a good spot for me for Kage to Kage. I have no idea what they were going for with Kage to Kage. Yeah, the thing is, being like a Shadow Lizard, I feel like they could have done so many fun things with the animations. And the ones that it has is like, they're all right, you know? It's not bad. Hanzo. I like never use this one. I will say, of some of the more like kind of cool as opposed to cute monsters, this one does look pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, I'm still just gonna put it next to Gazelle. I think I just really don't have any strong feelings about Hanzo. Strangest entrance animation. I'm trying to remember what it was. I used Hanzo for a minute. It's just like appear in like a cloud of smoke or something like that. Alright, Unchained A-Bomb. Now, I think of the, like, cool monster mates, I think this is one of the better ones. In terms of its animations, in terms of the sounds that it makes, and mostly in terms of how it looks. I think that, yeah, this mate came out looking really, really good. I think they did a great job with Unchained A-Bomb. Enough so that I might put it in S tier, honestly. If not S, I think Unchained A-Bomb is high A for me. I think I'm going to put it in S. I could see myself including this in my regular rotation. I think Laundry is going to be the bottom of S for me, because while I don't regularly use her, I think she's still a really, really good deluxe mate. And I think everything above Laundry is probably a mate that I could see myself regularly using. He's a good boy. Honestly, one of the better mates. It's a good one. Okay, yeah, I'm glad we tend to agree here. Yeah. I think this is a good one for sure. Gen X controller. This one is a huge missed opportunity to me because I really, really like Gen X controller. I think that this card is really cute. I've even called this card Cutie Controller in the past. But it was another one where they just did not do anything fun with the animation. He just kind of like sits there. It's like, I'm gonna put him in high C. Mostly for just, like, missed opportunities. You know what? I think maybe next to Gamma, because I kind of feel the same way about this one that I feel about Gamma. I can't get past his eyes. I like the eyes. I think they're cute. Alright, it's burger time. It's motherfucking burger time. Now, the Hungry Burger has definitely been one of the more popular mates. In fact, we have had entire memes, and other streamers have even had entire like streams dedicated to just trying to get the burger mate. So I know a lot of people would just throw the burger mate in S tier. I'm gonna put it in A. I think the top of A is where I like Hungry Burger. The sound is meant to be squeezing a nearly empty bottle of sauce. I think the sound is just supposed to be it like growling. Because it goes like, nyah, nyah. It kind of like, I think it's supposed to be that kind of a sound. And it just kind of ended up coming out more squishy, I guess. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think Hungry Burger is going to be top of A for me. It's close. I would almost consider using this in my like regular rotation of mates. Shurig. So Shurig is a pretty interesting one. I think that for me, Shurig ends up actually at the bottom of A tier. Maybe not the bottom. At least above Rescue Rabbit. I'm gonna put Shurig right here. So the main thing that I don't like about Shurig, and I actually did touch upon this earlier, is mostly just the fact that you only get to see him transform when your life points hit 2,000 or less. I think that, here's what okay, the other thing about Shurig too, is that it's one of those mates that I had an idea for an animation that they didn't end up doing, that I think is kind of a missed opportunity. Like, so the thing about Shurig, like, especially the transformed version, is that there's a card art where it's like shooting a huge energy blast. I always thought it would be cool if whenever you declare the game-winning attack, if Shurig, like, fired a big energy beam at your opponent as well, and it kind of attacked, like, simultaneously with whatever monster was swinging in for lethal, because that's kind of how the card art works with it and, I think, Rindbrum. There's, like, an art, one of the branded cards out there somewhere, has art of, like, Shurig and Rindbrum, like, shooting, or no, I think it's Shurig and Sargus, are shooting, like, giant energy beams at, like, Alba or Dispater. And I thought that was really, really cool. I would have really loved to have seen that. But no, they just kind of didn't really do that much with it. I hopped in to see Book of Moon and F tier SMH. So, I said it before. I said that this was going to be a divisive one. That's funny, but they should have made it so when you share it for game, there's an animation. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. I don't think he's a bad mate, but I just don't think he's that good of one. But I think he is better than Rescue Rabbit. I think Rescue Rabbit I might even just bump down to the top of B tier. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for Rescue Rabbit. Short of Greed in F tier 2. Listen, object mates, I'm just not a fan of. Just not a big fan of. And the DD and the Cleefort ones. Oh, did I not include the Cleefort one? Oh, the Monolith isn't here. That's another one I forgot. Dang. Okay. We'll talk about that one in the bicycle at the end then. Soul Eating Oviraptor. This is a newer one, but I think this is a really, really good one. Have Line coming in very soon. I think the most fun part about the Soul Eating Oviraptor, who I am going to put in S tier, I think here. It's just the fact that he jumps onto the field. Like, I think that alone, that it's such a fun and dynamic animation. I think it's that, and also combined with the fact that when you win, Soul Eating Oviraptor has this like really shitty like laugh, like it laughs at your opponent. I think that's funny. I think that's a funny animation. Being a meta-relevant monster is also pretty good too. Yeah, definitely for sure. So, yeah, I like Soul Eating Oviraptor. I could definitely see it being in my regular rotation of mates I like to use. Blue Eyes Chaos Max is one of the very recent ones, and I think it looks pretty good. I think they're definitely getting better with the big, like, scary monster mates, right? Like, especially if you compare Blue Eyes Chaos Max to, like, the regular Blue Eyes mate. Like, I'll put the regular Blue Eyes mate, like, kind of down here with a lot of these other ones. I just don't think they look good. And I think the biggest thing I don't like about regular Blue Eyes mate is the wings. The wings look terrible. They don't look good. They just don't look good. Gee, Blue Eyes, how come you get two mates? Being the most iconic monster in the series, we'll definitely get that for you. But the Chaos Max mate, I'm going to put it in high A tier. Because while I personally probably won't include it in my like rotation of mates I like to use, it's a very, very good one. I would not fault people for having this in S. I might even just put it up here. Like, if I think Laundry is the S tier, even though I don't regularly use her, I think this one looks good enough that I'll probably just put it in S anyway. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. Blue Eyes is so ugly to make the wing. Yeah, exactly, the wings. It just looks so bad. Flame Wingman, this is the latest mate to hit the shop, and I think it's fine. I think it looks good. I'm going to put it next to Stratos. Like, I think these are both very comparable mates, not just because they're both elemental hero monsters, but like they are, I mean, I guess both being elemental heroes, they have aesthetically very similar design. Flame Wingman's got some really fun animations. Yeah, I think that I think I'll put it next to Stratos. I think for heroes, you've got a couple of really good options for mates there. Oh boy, bunch of object mates here. Soccer/football. That's gonna be a pretty easy F tier. Like, how much more boring could you get than like a basketball? That's a pretty easy F tier. Yeah, rugby ball. It's a pretty easy F tier. American football. It's a pretty easy F tier. I don't know. I could try to think about the order of these, I guess, but like, would you believe if I told you I'm not really a sports person? I don't know how many people will be shocked by that, but every object is F tier to you. They do tend to be, but I skipped past the music box here because I think this is the one that I'm like, I would be, of all of the object mates, I think this is the one I would be most likely to use. I think the meme value of this one is especially high for me because, like, what is the appeal here? Like, you know, I understand them putting the various sports mates in because, you know, people like sports. I guess this is for people who, like music? But, like, I don't know. Whenever I think about this, I just think of somebody who, like, actually listens to one of these old phonograms or whatever these are called. Like, you know. Like, I guess I have a record player, but it doesn't have one of these funny, like, horn-looking things. Do you like my car? Okay, if I'm putting fun object mates at the bottom of C tier, I'm willing to put the sous ship mate up there as well. Yeah, exactly. These are filler mates. This is also a filler mate. It's just a funny filler mate. The car, I think it's got more value. You know what? I think it's got more value than a lot of these. I'll put it in F. But I think it's got, like, a lot more value than like, the various sports balls, for example. But, like, the treasure chest. What the fuck? Who is this for? Who is this mate for? The king crown? Or the royalty crown in general? Like, the fuck are these? Who are these for? Who looks at the treasure box and is like, you know what? This is probably the worst one to me. Who looks at the fucking treasure box and is like, this is a mate that speaks to my... Oh, you know what? Okay, pirates, plunder. I can see that. I can see that. That's fair. That's fair. I think for the most part, though, it's like, ew, who is this for? Who is this for? I will say, if we got a fun beach-themed board, I would be more up on the treasure mate, because then it would be thematically there. Like, it would be more thematically, like, on point. Jinzo, thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Golbar is the middle of S tier. I mean, yeah, I guess for me, the threshold right now, as far as, like, these are mates that I would use. Like, that I would regularly use. And then pretty much everything that's laundry mate and below is stuff that I probably wouldn't regularly use, but, you know. Like, the A stuff I still think is good, etc., etc. Boxing gloves, I mean, this is just another sports object mate. Same with the rollerblades, it's like, whatever. Dartboard, I'll put above the other ones, because I think it's got a fun animation of, like, the darts appearing on the board. But, nah. Battle and boxers. Yeah, it's like, again, like, a lot of these mates, like, if there was a boxing ring board, yeah, I would probably pick the boxing gloves. If there was a... Like, again, a, like, tropical or beach board, I'd be more inclined to pick the treasure box, but... Car in F tier is just... Listen, I don't like object mates. I think they're boring. Speaking of object mates that I think are boring, the new sword is definitely going to be another F tier mate for me. This one I would have included in C with the other object mates that I do actually kind of like. But here's the thing that really irks me about the new sword mate. The pile of rocks that the sword is in, it just does not look good. It looks hideous. It's way too big. It's, like, weirdly blocky. It's got, like, no texture on it. I don't know. It's just, like... Ah! It was so close. Like, if it looked sleeker... Like, I already knew the animation was gonna be just it glowing. Like, I'm not gonna, like, hope for too much here. But if it just looked a little bit sleeker, I would actually might be inclined to put it in the C tier. But it just doesn't look good. I don't know. I really like the skull servant mate with the ghost field, or with the ice field, rather, with, like, the fire. I like that a lot. That's really fun. I like that. Now, yeah, this come up a couple of times. If the car mate was Car D... easy, at least C, if not B tier. But the fact that it's just a regular ass car is like, it's such a miss. Also, I never really noticed this before, but look at these, look at the side mirrors. Look how far out they stick on this car. I don't know, it's just like, it would have been so easy to just make this Car D instead. I don't know. Maybe not so easy, but it's John Konami's Civic. Sorry, John Konami. I didn't mean to make fun of your Honda Civic over here, but Alright, Gear Gear mates. I don't personally use this one. In fact, I didn't even know until today that I hadn't even unlocked this one yet. But I will say this is a pretty easy S tier mate. Because, like, come on, you can play rock, paper, scissors with it. Like, if I were, like, I don't know. I think if this tier list was less about how much I like them and more, well, I mean, how could you possibly have this be objective, right? Like, the fact that this is the only mate that can actually interact with you, there's, like, an argument for this to be the best, like, to be at the top of S tier. I would definitely not, like, be opposed to that argument for that reason, for sure. You can? Yeah. So when you click on the Gear mate, it'll go, you know, it'll throw out its fist like 1, 2, and then it'll throw out a either rock, paper, or scissors. So if you're ever bored and waiting for your opponent to you know, do things in a duel, you can click on the Gear mate, you can sit there and play rock, paper, scissors with it. Exactly. Entertainment while you wait through the 10-minute combo. Exactly. So yeah, that's a very, very fun mate. This is like prime mate design. Even if I don't use this one personally, I think this is very, 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 very good mate design. So for me, it's going to be the top. It's going to be at the top of the mates I don't use. But if this were less about mates that I like, then I think it would just be the top for sure. The Kurikara one, I think, is mostly forgettable, except I really like the animation when you start a duel, how it like turns into a barrel and like springs, like spring jumps. I think that's really fun. That's a really, really fun animation. And for that reason, I'm willing to put it in like middle of B tier. I think it's a good spot for it. Love this one, no idea why. It's fun. Like, it's not like the most, it doesn't stand out necessarily the most. Like, I'll even put the Moai cannon like a little bit above it, but it doesn't stand out the most, but I think it's a very, very fun mate. Ancient Gear Wyvern. This is another one of those, like, okay, so this is another one of the, like, quote-unquote cool looking mates as opposed to one of the, like, you know, cuter ones. One thing I think Ancient Gear Wyvern really has going for it is how many moving parts the model has. I like that all of the gears on its body are like turning in like different directions and at different angles and all that stuff. I think that's really, really fun. I think they actually did a pretty decent job with this one. Enough so that I think I am willing to put it in like mid B tier. I think this one's a little bit underrated for that reason. I just think it looks good, you know? The model itself could look a little bit cleaner, but I think the way that it moves looks really, really good. And yeah, it looks cool on Gear Town, for sure. Cyber Dragon Infinity. I think this is going to be another one of those ones where I just really don't have many strong feelings about it. I will say that it definitely looks better than, like, these, right? Like, it definitely looks better than the Blue Eyes of Warlord and the Trishula. I kind of wish it was bigger. This is the only other mini-mate, I think, if I recall correctly, from the shop. Like, the Borlo Dragon, if you look at it in the shop, it says mini in parentheses. And I think the same is true of the Cyber Dragon Infinity. But with how good the, like, full version of the Chaos Max end up looking, I think a full-body Cyber Dragon Infinity could look pretty cool, too. But I'll leave it here on B. And then finally, there's Dark Magician. I'm going to put this in C. It's like, it looks fine, I guess. It doesn't look bad. But it doesn't have, like, any interesting poses. It kind of just, like, turns and, like, holds its staff out. It doesn't, like, do a cool attacking pose. It doesn't, like, start to... Like, how cool would it be if you clicked on Dark Magician and it started to fire, like, it started charging up the dark magical attack, right? Hair of these mates look awful and lifeless. Oh, I mean, it does the game-winning attack animation. That's true. No, that's not even the mate, though. That's the card, right? That's the actual Dark Magician card itself. If you attack for lethal, then it'll have the fun animation. But that's not the mate, though. The mate, I'm pretty sure if you click on it, just kind of, like, spins. Yeah, the card is the one that does it. Okay, that's what I thought. You should throw up the original circle. Yeah, there's so many fun things you could do with the animations. It could throw up the circle. It could, you know, it could, start charging a dark magical attack. Why is it blonde? I don't know. He is the strongest magician in terms of attack and defense. Spin the attack. I think attack, I think he kind of just, like, holds the staff out, right? But there's no, like, magical effects to it. I don't know. It's just kind of like, whatever. I think it's such a whatever mate. Missed opportunity is what I think when I see mates like Dark Magician. Alright, so that's all of them. Let me look over this list here and see if I want to rearrange anything. But I think this looks pretty good for me. Yeah, this is where I would put every mate on the tier list. So, what do you all think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your favorite mate? definitely feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you're interested in more fun videos like this, I guess for lack of a better word, we do tend to focus on like a lot of like competitive play on the channel, but I think it's fun every now and then to stop and have a video like this. So if you thought this was fun and you want to see more of this, definitely let me know in the comment section. But yeah, that'll go ahead and do it for this video. Let us go ahead and move on to the outro. How long was that? 53 minutes? That's not terrible. I was hoping for it to be like a little under an hour, so that's exactly where it wanted to be. Or where I wanted it to be. Okay. Yay! Oh, bike and monolith. I forgot about the bike and the monolith. Bike is high F tier. It's a fun object, I guess, but wait, does it make a ding ding? Does the bicycle make a bicycle bell ding when you click it? That's huge. That's actually hugely. It does? Okay, then it's gonna be in C tier. I think that's a lot of fun. And it might even be the best object mate for me. The bike has a working bell. That's awesome. If the bike, here's the thing, if the bike did not have a working bell, it would immediately go to the bottom of F tier for me, for the biggest missed opportunity of all time among all the mates. But the fact that it has a bell, I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it in C tier. Fun fact, if your bike doesn't have a working bell, you'll be fined 55 euros in the Netherlands. That's funny. That's good. I've worked many jobs. One of my jobs, once upon a time, was I used to work in a deli, and I would prepare the bread more than anything else. And so I would always have to like shuttle these like, you know, bread racks that were taller than I was like around the kitchen, right? And our kitchen had this like really obnoxious corner that like turned to the storage area / back office, and that's also where we kept the bread racks. And it would happen all the time where I'd be pushing that bread rack through and then somebody would be walking back, so I'd have to stop and let them through. And then I'd start pushing it again and then somebody else would come through and I'd stop and let them through. So I got to a point where I bought a bicycle bell and I stuck it on our bread racks. And every time it was coming around the corner, I would just ring it. I'd be like, I'm coming through. So funnily enough, whenever I think of a bicycle bell, I don't even think of bicycle bells. I think of just bread baking. So if only that bike could wake up the opponent or something. Oh, and then there's also the Qliphort Monolith. That was the other one we forgot. That one, I'd probably put that one in C. I'd probably put that one in C with like Galatea and Beatron, because it looks fine, but doesn't really do anything with the animations, so it's like, meh. Bread is so base too. I love bread. Working in a deli gave me an appreciation for how good bread can be. I lose my Dutch citizenship if you don't hype up bicycles whenever you can. True. Wish the Galatea had better animations. Me too. Okay, this was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. Who is on? Who is streaming? Who can we raid? We haven't raided Eclipse in a while. Let's go see what she's up to. She's playing... What deck is she playing? I see Wanted. I see Nibiru. What is the card in the middle? I think she might be playing Noble, Infernobles. Is that the museum? I think that's the museum. I'm pretty sure she's playing Infernobles right now. So, yeah, let's go ahead and hop over to her stream, say hi, and I will catch you all in the future at some point. Probably Tuesday. Oh, yeah, Tuesday, because we'll come back with the next event. Yeah, so that'll be the next stream. We'll be Tuesday, and we'll do the next event. So, have fun, everyone, and be safe and cool. Yeah, all right. See ya. Bye.